Really say I'm standing between you and lunch because I'm here and lunch is on the other side of the room, which is closer to you. So I'm going to try and be short. Thank you, Iliana, Theodora, and Ian, for sharing with us how you realistically, in everyday experienced the whole thing. So pandemic and war has challenged the core principle of insurance, if that is one conclusion that I could withdraw, and that is the principle of protection and offering protection and the risk transfer mechanism. In a way, this 3-year cyclone has directed the industry to act against its own nature. And war was tested after many, many years. The 3-year cyclone has created a big gap between expectation and what realistically could be covered. And it also created a lot of uncertainty. And with uncertainty comes risk. We have listened to the industry professionals all morning, and they shared with us their individual experiences from different angles. The prevailing feeling is that both the shipping and insurance industries have shown the resilience and came out stronger. I think it was Riwaris that mentioned that. That this period has taught us how to approach challenges as partners. I agree with you, Ilias. We had to have a pandemic and a war to actually work all together towards the same direction. The corridor is a great example, and thank you for mentioning and raising the point. If it wasn't for the insurance industry, the corridor wouldn't have been possible. To quote Stephen, it's all about insurance at the end of the day. We are there, and we should be in a position to protect those that need it. And in unpredictable situations where insurance cannot stand up for us, not because of its own unwillingness, but because of external factors restricting it, it's all about how we manage those unpredictable situations and circumstances, as Stavros said. If there is one thing that history has taught us, and Iliana reminded us, is that risk, war, even sanctions existed thousands of years ago. But we, the human race, have weathered it, whether we had insurance or not. Even the wildest storms, therefore, are followed by fair seas. But until then, steer clear of uncertainty, well said Theodora, and remember that the devil is in the detail, as Ian said. Thank you all so very much. I believe we have a small charity ceremony that the organizers are going to conclude now.
Thank you, Anna. During the coffee break, a lot of you told me that very nice gathering today and that the conference was a great success. Thank you all for being here today and making the first Cyprus Shipping News Greece Marine Insurance Conference a great success. But I would like also to thank, before we close for today, not only you, the delegates, the speakers, the moderators, the chairwoman, but also the team here that made it happen, Stavros Niarchos, and for their assistance and support today. I would like to thank Blue Screen for the audiovisuals and the excellent acoustic that we had today. Thank you, Yannis. And the Hypnosophisterion for the coffee break and lunch that we're going to have in a while. And last but not least, my team for making it happen 2 conferences in 1 week with all these ups and downs that we had. And thank you all for being here again today. So we are closing with a small ceremony for the charity. As you understand, we are not charging for the conference, but we are asking our delegates to contribute to a good cause. Today was the Hadji Kyriakio, and I hope we have managed to gather a good amount of money to go to the children. Stella, just to close with that, please come up and say a few words.
Herete, good afternoon. Within the scope of CSN's corporate social responsibility, we have introduced since last year the charity sponsorship. For each conference, a charity sponsor is selected who contributes a significant amount to a charity foundation of its preference. In addition, we have decided that there will be no delegates fees, making the attendance of the conference free for all employees of shipping and shipping-related organizations in Greece, and instead we welcome anyone who wants to contribute to the charity foundation supported by the conference by indicating it at the registration, and it's this way helping a good cause. For today's conference, the charity sponsor is Synergy Maritime and United Maritime, and the charity foundation is the Hadji Kyriakio Child Care Institution. I would like to kindly ask the representatives of Synergy United and of Hadji Kyriakio to join me for the small ceremony of handing out the amounts received.
Do you want to say a few words?
Of course.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So actually, it's been a pleasure and an honor to be here, part of the first CSN Greece Marine Insurance Conference, and we are grateful that we were chosen as the foundation supported by this particular conference. I'd like to present you shortly who we are and what we do at Hadji Kyriakio. So the Hadji Kyriakio Child Care Institution was founded in 1889 by Ioannis Hadjikyriakos and his wife Marigo. Their concern was to take care of the orphans and indigent girls whose families face socioeconomic problems. The Hadji Kyriakio Institution hosts girls from the age of 6 and offers them food, accommodation, medical care, education, and counseling, while at the same time it supports its graduates with their studies and facilitates their integration into society. The Hadji Kyriakio supports over 100 girls and their families every year. Since the beginning of its operation, the Hadji Kyriakio institution provides its girls with educational skills at all school levels, as education is of great importance according to its principles. We encourage our girls to complete their studies in colleges or universities in Greece or abroad. By investing in education, we expect to expose our female students to increased future employment opportunities and provide access to goods and services so as to increase their potential in a demanding world. This will facilitate their integration into society and also protect them from other forms of discrimination and social exclusion. According to the organizational charter, the social services are responsible for the girls' physical health issues as well. They take care of the medication, vaccinations, and regular medical appointments, and they face any incident that might come up suddenly. But except for the host girls, Hadji Kyriakio follows a holistic approach so as to support single or unemployed parents, large families, parents with health problems or addictions. A team of social workers, psychologists, and special educators work together with the family in order to solve any problems and restore the relationships between children and parents. They also provide whatever needed so as to bring up their children without having to leave their family environment. Now, a few words about our premises. The main operation building of Hadji Kyriakio has been designated by the Ministry of Culture as a work of art and historical monument, but during the 1999 earthquake, the building was severely damaged and deemed unsuitable for the welfare of our children. After the evacuation of the building, the boarding school, the administrative services, of the institution and the guest elementary school had to resettle in a camp with prefabricated buildings in the surrounding area. So the institution and the elementary school are still hosted by the prefabricated buildings till today. But with the support of the Attica region, the repairs of the main building are almost complete, and it is expected that the girls, the employees and the services of the institution will return to the main building in 2024, so 25 years after the devastating earthquake. Now, Hadjikyriakio is a private legal entity and does not receive any government grants. The institution revenues derive from the management of the real estate property inherited by our founder, Ioannis Hadjikyriakos, and from events organized with the help of sponsors and volunteers, and finally from donations. The economic recession and social crisis which our country has been facing the last decades has negatively affected the financial situation of our institution. Successful management of the current economic situation is of great importance to be achieved in order to secure the quality of living of our protected children today. In order to achieve our objectives, we need to secure the financial assistance and support in material goods and services from our friends, donors, and volunteers. At this point, we would like to thank, on behalf of the President and the management of the institution, the organizing company Cyprus Shipping News, and Mr. Adonis Violaris, who, on the occasion of this particular conference, chose to support Hadjikyriakio. We would also like to thank the charity sponsors, Synergy Maritime and United Maritime Corporation, for accepting this proposal. Both companies have made a monetary deposit in favor of the institution's purpose. And finally, we would like to thank all of you who generously supported or will support Hadjikyriakio Institution. We are grateful and hope to have you by our side in the future. Thank you. Σας ευχαριστούμε όλους.
Thank you very much. Yes.
I'm going to be me, and I'm going to go outside the script here. If I understand correctly, Hadjikyriakio is an institution for girls? Only girls?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to wear my Vista female woman in shipping hat here now. And I want to invite everybody. I know the Vista ladies from Hellas are now in Portugal attending a conference and everything. But since we're all talking about empowering women in the industry and bringing more women into the industry, women in shipping, as in cadets and all, they only make up 2%
Correct.
of the workforce of the seafarers.
Yes.
So since we're talking about empowering women, I would like to put it out there, food for thought. Empower these girls, bring them under your wing, embrace them, create scholarships maybe. Why don't we do something, women from women, the industry for the women, since we're talking about empowering women in the industry. And on the 18th, it is Women in Maritime Day of the IMO. So just food for thought. If you haven't donated, donate.
Thank you, Anna. This was I was going to say, and thank you all again. Lunch is sponsored by Afendrica Marine Insurance Brokers. Let us have a nice meal now. Thank you very much. Bye.